Hello, all my beautiful heart healers. This is Harriet. I have missed you guys. Happy 2021. Woo! Hopefully this year's going to be a lot better than the last one. So things have been kind of busy for me, not necessarily in a great way, but I got the Rona. I got COVID. So I spent most of January sick, and I'm grateful that I didn't have it as bad as some people have. But even in my state, it kicked my butt pretty good. I was out of work for 2 weeks. Started off on the new year with it. I went back to work for a week, and then I got a setback, and the whole next week I was out. So this is some pretty rough stuff. But there is some hope on the horizon. I've heard that, well, I know it still looks bad, but I've also heard some cases that some of the counts and things are starting to lower a little bit. So we just have to keep our chins up and get through this mess. And I meant to start podcasting again last week, and I wasn't up to it. I was so tired. I feel like it just completely wiped me out. And I had like a lot of problems with nausea and migraines and really bad migraine headaches and body aches. It was just, it was terrible. So I hope none of you guys have had it. And if you have had it, then I feel you. And hopefully we won't have relapses from it. So how has everybody been? I hope you guys had a good holiday season. Better start to the new year than I had. Like I said, I really miss talking to all of you. So I want to kind of float an idea that I had. I was thinking about doing maybe some random podcasts here and there to where it's called Voice of the Empath. And I would like to get you guys to maybe record a little bit, like what it means to you to be an empath, or maybe an experience you had, or some of your thoughts on it, or something like that, and send it to me. And when I do those podcasts, it won't be me talking the whole podcast. It'll be you guys. Fill it up with y'all's voices. And that way, people can hear what you have to say. So I kind of think that would be fun. And I don't know if that's something that any of you would be interested in or not. But if you are, record just a little segment for me. I don't know, maybe a few minutes, 5-6 minutes, whatever. I'd like to fit a few into each podcast. And I would advise probably not putting a lot of personal information out. If you have, if you have a page that you'd like to promote, of course you are welcome to put that in there. You can put whatever name you want to go by, or if you want to give out contact information, you can. And, just basically just whatever's on your heart. And I'm not saying that I'll put every single one out that I get, but I'll listen to each one. And I might choose some for one segment, and then maybe choose some for another segment, because this is something that I'd like to do. I don't know. I'm thinking now, maybe once a month or something like that. Depends on how much interest we get. And if you want to do it more than once, if you want to come back, a few weeks later and send me a new one with some new thoughts or whatever you have, then that's great. But I think it would be fun, and I think it would be cool, and would give you guys a chance for your voices to be heard too. So if you like that, like I said, just send me a file. You can send it to me in, I'm trying to think. I think you can send it to me in an MP3, and I can add it, or an MP4 or an M4A, however you record it. And I've got software and stuff like that I'm pretty sure I can change it. And if not, then I'll email you back and let you know. But just send it to my Heart of an Empath email. I had to think for a minute what it was. I'm not quite back to 100% yet. I'm a lot better than what I was, but I've still had a little fuzziness here and there. I think it's heart of an empath at gmail.com. That's sad. I don't know my own Gmail address. I don't email myself that often, so. But it is also on my Twitter page and on my main Anchor page. So, but yeah, I'm about 99% sure that's what it is. So I had a subject that I've actually been planning on talking to you guys about. And it's something that I thought of there towards the end of the year. And I think it would be a good thing to discuss. Especially for anybody, really. But especially for empaths. Because I think this is something that we do quite a bit. And this podcast is called It's Okay to Cry. Crying is a very natural way to express yourself. And if you are like me, crying expresses a lot. I cry when I'm happy, cry when I'm sad, I cry when I'm angry. And I know for some of us, especially that last one, it can be frustrating because we're trying to get our point across and we break down in tears. And that does not mean that we are weak. It's because we are gentle souls. And whereas some people might respond by throwing something across the room or keying somebody's car or something vengeful or whatever like that, I think it's because we do internalize so much, and it's kind of like a dam that busts. You know, it's just so full of emotion that it just busts and overflows. But crying is nothing to be ashamed of. It is, in fact, I've done some research on this, and it is a very good stress release. Crying will help you feel better. And so the next time that you're having an argument and you're wanting to yell and scream and holler and you burst and break down into tears, don't be ashamed of that, or don't feel like that you didn't get your point across, or even if someone is mean to you and says something negative about it. That's just the way you're wired. That's just the way your body responds to stress. It's the way it responds to emotion, which is why a lot of us, we cry when we're happy and we cry when we're sad, and we're sensitive souls. And I want to say, I'm sure most of us, if not all of us, are gentle souls. I don't think you could be a mean, vengeful person and be an empath, at least not in the way that we're talking about. There are some other things I've heard about, like dark empaths and that kind of thing, and that may be something that we discuss later on, but for our intents and purposes, just your pure basic empath, that's what we're talking about. And the angry vengefulness, mean, throw stuff across the room, doesn't really fit in with who we are. I'm not saying you would never do it, but I'm just saying that, like, I know there are some people that when they get mad, that's just what they do, and they throw stuff and they scream and holler. And so I'm mostly talking to people who seem to show most of their emotion with tears. So if you've ever noticed yourself, like, okay, here's me, for example. I can cry probably a few times a day for various reasons. I will cry because I empathize with you. I will cry because that little puppy commercial came on and it breaks my heart to see a little puppy or a kitten that's needing help. I can cry because this really sweet deodorant commercial came on between a mother and a daughter. And I can cry when I'm so frustrated that I want to scream, and that's what comes out. So, and my husband will tease me about that sometimes, but it's okay. Because the point is, when you let that emotion build up, that's not good for you. It needs to come out somehow. And it's a lot better to let it vent in tears than it is to be vengeful or hostile or violent, things like that. And those kind of things will lower your vibration too, because one thing that we want to be sensitive of is, we're here trying to do things on this earth, and we have a plan and a mission, whether we remember it or realize it or not. We all have a mission, and that's something that I want to talk about at a later point too. But we're trying to better ourselves. We're trying to become the best version of ourselves that we can be. And when you do things that cause you to dwell in lower vibrational states, like anger, jealousy, hatred, meanness, things like that, being negative, those things will bring your vibration down. And then it's what you are is what you attract to you. So when you're allowing yourself to be, and I know it's not easy, I've had plenty of opportunity myself, plenty of times when I've been in a negative state, and I try to kick myself out of it. But when you're in those lower vibrational frequencies, in those feelings and things, then you're going to attract more of those situations and people to you while you're in that. So you have to try to pull yourself up out of the muck, pretty much, and try to focus on things that are lighter and brighter and more positive, so that you can raise that vibration of yours and bring more positive things into your life, positive situations, positive people, that kind of thing. So, and of course, sadness and that kind of thing will keep you down as well. So we want to try not to be sad. But the thing is we're going to have times when we're sad. We're going to have times when we're frustrated and angry, and times when we're happy. And then, we just have to choose how we're going to react to that. But for a lot of us, there's not really a choice. It's just those tears flow. I mean, they come on you, and especially if you've had a lot to deal with for a while, then they're going to run. The river's going to run. And honestly, when you feel like you are in need of just a good cry, that is probably exactly what you need. You need to allow yourself to... Crying is cleansing to me. Even though it doesn't feel good while you're crying, I've noticed that afterward I feel such a sense of release. I feel like that I got it out. And instead of stifling those tears, I let them come out. And if you feel like you're finding yourself in that kind of situation to where you just feel like you need a good cry, allow yourself that. Give yourself that permission. And you will feel so much better. It gets that stress out. It relieves you of that. And it will cleanse your spirit. And if you cry when you're happy, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's how you show your feelings. And one thing that I would like to point out, and this is something that I've thought for a while, where people, talk about strengths and weaknesses. I've always felt like what most people consider my weakness is actually my greatest strength. And that's the ability to feel, like we've discussed so many times before. Never underestimate how important that is. And especially now, you need to be able to feel and show those feelings and emotions. And so many people try to hide their emotions, and they wear masks, and they try to be people that they're not, or things that they're not. They try to make others think that they just got it going on, and they're really just as broken as the rest of us. And you need to be honest with yourself and honest with those around you, because then when we're all honest with each other, then guess what? We can pick each other up out of the muck. When we fall down in the mud, we can be like, hey, I've been there. I know what it's like to be in the mud. I can help you up. Or you can be like, hey, I'm in the mud too, so maybe we can both pick each other up. But it's hard to let someone pick you up when you feel like they've just got everything perfect. They've just got it down. And, you know, if you're that kind of person that's portraying yourself that way, then you need to stop. It's not good for you. It's not good for those around you. And I don't know that there's anyone listening that has that. Or maybe you know people like that. You need to tell them, hey, get a reality check. Check is in the mail. It's called a reality check. You need to quit being a phony fake. Be real like the rest of us, so that you can be one of those that helps your brother or your sister out. We need to help each other out, not pretend like we're just all great and wonderful and everything's hunky-dory when we know that it's not. So, don't know how I got off on all that, but there you go. So, I'm going to start wrapping this segment up for now. But think about if you would like to be on the show, had to record something for me, let me hear it. And remember that the next time you feel like crying or you feel frustrated because you're crying when you're mad or upset, don't feel mad. Don't feel frustrated, But just know that that's how you process your emotions. You process your emotions differently from other people. There's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine. And if somebody wants to make a joke with you about it, then just laugh along with it. Say, yep, that's right. That's how I show my emotion. And don't feel ashamed. Maybe people that do that kind of stuff, that say things to you, are actually a little bit jealous because they can't feel the way that you feel. Because they have tried to hide their emotions for so long and tried to lie to themselves for so long that maybe they've forgotten what it's even like to be able to feel that deeply. It's a gift. It can be a curse sometimes, yes, but it's also a gift, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So, I have enjoyed talking to you guys today. Like I said, I missed all of you so much, and I hope that I get lots of submissions. I hope all of you want to add your 2 cents worth in. And if I get enough, then, heck, even the next podcast or 2 or whatever, we'll make that our first one, the voice of the empath. So, or voices of the empath, or I'll come up with a good name for it. Or if you have some ideas for it, hey, throw that in as well. But, all right, guys, y'all have a beautiful, wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.